sure is improving.
I wish he'd spend as much time on his schoolwork as he does learning to sound like some animal.
That might come in handy someday. You never can tell.
How'd it sound, Pa?
Well, it's still sounding like the wolf has only got 2 legs, but it's sounding better.
Did it scare the horses?
Nope, but when I answered you back, I didn't scare them either, so don't feel bad.
I reckon they knew it wasn't a wolf because they couldn't smell one.
I reckon so.
How long till we get home, Pa?
Israel, for about the 10th time. 2 more days if we don't lose a wheel or something.
We only got 2 more nights of camping out.
I hope we only have 1 more night of camping out.
If we're not going to camp out tomorrow, where are we going to stay?
Well, Fort Howard, if the Colonel's got someplace for us to stay there.
Shucks, what do you want to go there for?
For one thing, your mother would like to sleep under a roof for a change after camping out for all week.
I thought you liked camping out, Ma.
I enjoy it now and then. But I wouldn't recommend it as a way of life.
Are there going to be any kids for me to play with?
Well, I doubt it. But I expect you'll survive 1 more day without somebody to entertain you. And why don't you take this little pot and run down to the creek and get some water so your mom can start cooking?
Sure, Pa.
What is it, Dad?
It's hard to tell.
Put that rifle down.
Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man. He was brave, he was fearless, and as tough as a mighty oak tree. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roaring'est, fighting'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a Boone wanted to do and what a clean thumb was he.
What's going on here?
Where'd you come from?
We're just passing by. appreciate it if you'd ask your friend to put his rifle down. It's liable to go off.
Put your gun down, Hanks.
You told me to challenge all strangers.
Well, they seem like friendly folk. Put your gun down. That's an order. You'll have to excuse him for being edgy, but you can see what happened here. There's only 5 of us left.
Colonel Howard?
Gone, and the other officers. I guess it's my command now, if you call 4 men a command.
When'd they hit you?
Daybreak. Killed 10 men in the first attack, got the rest in the second. They quit when they drove off the livestock.
Likely that's what they were after. How come the 5 of you stayed on?
Well, as you see, we've got some burying to do.
Shawnee.
How can you tell?
By the fletching on the shaft.
Seems like you know their habits.
I do.
Are you real sure that's all you know about them?
In what?
I figure it's a little bit peculiar that they haven't bothered you.
More than likely the Shawnees headed west when they left here. We came down from the Salt Licks from the north. By the way, my name's Boone, Daniel Boone.
Sergeant Rafferty. This is my command, Private Hanks, Private Evans, Private Crane. That's my brother, Michael Rafferty.
Like you to meet my family.
Fun.
Rebecca. My wife, Sergeant, and my son, Israel.
Pleasure meeting you, ma'am. Son, you figured on spending the night, Mr. Boone?
That was our plan.
Well, we'll try to make you as comfortable as possible.
Thank you, Sergeant.
You men see if you can fix that gate so it'll close.
Looks like you could do with a fresh bandage. Israel, fetch me some clean clothes from the wagon.
Well, it's just a scratch, ma'am.
Only take a moment. Sit over here.
All right.
Have to be looked after.
That's a bullet wound.
Some of them had guns.
That's something new for the Shawnee. They must have been trading with the French.
Lucky that missed the bone. Otherwise, you might not have an arm. You might not even have your life.
Ma'am, when you're born to be hanged, doesn't much matter.
This isn't going to be very professional, but at least it'll be cleaner.
Well, I'm very grateful to you, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Well, there must be something else I can do.
Well, the fact is, ma'am, we don't know very much about cooking.
Oh, well, if you'll have one of your men show me to your supplies.
Well, I can do that.
You go back to guard duty. Evans, show the lady where the supplies are. You two go back on burial detail.
I can lend a hand with the burying.
Oh, that won't be necessary, Mr. Boone. I want to show you your quarters if you'll step this way. You seem to know this country pretty well.
Well, it's my home. This your guardhouse?
No, we kept fresh meat in there when we had it.
Can I look?
No, it's dark down there. You might hurt yourself.
Israel, fetch some wood.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, I'm looking forward to that home cooking, Mr. Boone. It's been a long, long time.
Well, when we get to Boonesboro, we'll send some relief back to you.
Thank you very much, but hopefully we'll be on the trail ourselves tomorrow morning.
You're welcome to go as far as Boonesboro with us.
Might just do that. I'll think about it. Those are your quarters over there. I hope you'll find them suitable.
Well, thank you. I'm sure we will. Better tend to the horses first.
What does your husband do for a living, ma'am?
Trapping, mostly. He's a guide and a surveyor. And sometimes he does a little scouting for the Army.
Don't sound like he gets home very much.
Not as often as I'd like.
Well, there's no reason why a woman pretty like you are should be lonely.
That's not what I said.
I figure you got other notions than what you're saying.
Well, you figure wrong, Mr. Hanks.
You don't strike me as the kind of woman who would settle for many long, lonely nights.
You're in my way, Mr. Hanks.
Willie's the name. If it was me, I'd let those traps rust. And you'd love every blessed second of it.
How come your brother told Boone we might leave with him?
Oh, he just making friendly talk, I guess.
Yeah, well, he's friendly, all right. Even telling him to spend the night when he should have told him to move on.
Now, you know he couldn't do that.
No, why couldn't he? This ain't no place for a woman and a kid. You mark my word, their being here is going to cause us trouble.
Look, you feel that way about it, you talk to my brother. Don't talk to me.
But I'll tell him, all right. I'll tell him. First chance I get.
Well, here's your chance, Crane. Speak your piece. What's on your mind?
About Boone.
What about him?
Well, you're getting friendly with him, even telling him he can spend the night with us.
What do you expect me to do? Drive him off at gunpoint?
Well, you could have got rid of him some way or other. No, you ask him in. I'm surprised you didn't tell him what we're after and then offer him a share of it.
Are you through, Crane?
Yeah, I'm through for right now.
You're through from here on in. From now on, I'll decide who's thinking, talking, or asking for the five of us. Is that clear?
Suppose you tell me why I can't do my own thinking.
I'll tell you why. Because you haven't got the brains to pour water out of a boot if the directions were on the heel. Now get back to work.
Sergeant, you've been ordering me around real good the last year or two. Now, that shoulder board don't mean nothing to me no more, so don't you tell me what to do.
Get on your feet, soldier. Now, do we understand each other?
All I'm trying to say is that all of us agreed not to leave here till we got what we were looking for.
Who's leaving?
Well, you told Boone.
If we don't find what we're looking for by tomorrow morning, Boone can leave and we can make some excuse to stay.
And have live witnesses.
Witnesses? Witnesses to what? All Boone knows is there was an Indian fight here.
You don't think he'll get suspicious if he stays around?
He'll be more suspicious if we don't let him stay.
Find anything? Did you find anything, Crane?
Heavens, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be guarding Boone's wife and the boy.
Well, Hanks is taking care of things there, Sergeant. I just want to get back to my duty.
You left Hanks alone with a woman?
She ain't alone, Sergeant. The kid's with her.
Since when did that ever stop Hanks?
Now, who's right? Didn't I tell you there's going to be trouble? I told him there's going to be trouble. I just told him that.
Dig! Come on, Crane. Let's get out of here.
Will this be enough?
Yes, son, that's plenty.
You know, I figured the Shawnees must have wanted those cows awful bad to do what they did.
I'll fetch some more wood, boy. We'll be needing it later.
All right.
Well, ma'am, this is going to be quite a supper. Fresh biscuits. Thank you, ma'am. Private Hanks, I'd like to have a word with you, please.
Now, you hear me. You hear me good. You stay clear of that woman. What are you figuring to do? Save her for yourself?
I've put up with you long enough. You either do as I say or I'll nail your hide up to dry. Or better yet, I'll tell Boone.
You'll never get a better chance than right now. Mr. Boone, the sergeant wants to talk to you.
You better get back to the burial detail. You send Crane over here to take your place.
I'll see to it right off, Sergeant Rafferty.
Yes, Sergeant?
Oh, Mr. Boone, I was just wondering if your quarters were suitable.
We'll sleep well, thank you.
Oh, it's you.
What's wrong, baby?
Nothing, Dan.
Well, something's bothering you.
It's that soldier Hanks.
What about him?
nothing really. It was just his manner.
Maybe I better have a talk with Mr.
No,
Banks.
Dad. I'm probably just being foolish, and I don't want to cause any trouble. Please.
I bet you all get medals for saving the fort the way you did.
Yeah.
Sergeant Rafferty should get a special one for being wounded.
Oh, yeah, probably will.
Those Shawnee arrows sure are hard to pull out. Did he do it all by himself?
Yep, that's just what he did.
I saw my pa do it once.
Really?
Uh-huh. Well, see you later. I gotta deliver the wood.
All right, goodbye now.
They're not ready yet, Dan.
Thanks for telling me. They're not done yet.
Let's see. Need anything from the wagon, Mom?
No. You can get me a bucket of water.
Oh.
Dan, will they be finished with the burying by morning?
Imagine so. Why?
Nothing, except I'll be glad when we leave.
We'll be leaving whether they're finished or not.
Ken?
Yeah.
Just what makes you so sure the money's buried here?
Well, you see, it's standard military procedure to dispose of valuables in case of an attack. The colonel couldn't have burned the gold, so he must have buried it.
But why right here? There's an awful lot of ground inside this stockade.
This is a garden area. Nobody had noticed until he turned earth.
Watch it.
Well, Mr. Boone, can I help you with something?
Well, my wife threw me out of the kitchen, so I'm just leaving it around for a while.
Well, you know how these women are. By the way, what time is supper?
Oh, I figured it'd be an hour at least.
Good, I'm sure tired of that digging. How'd you like to join me in a drink?
Don't mind if I do.
I got a jug hidden over there. Come on. Now, this is a jug of prime spirits. One thing they didn't get. Well, good health. Good luck.
Up to you, Sergeant.
Well, frankly, I feel I've already had my luck, considering I'm still alive.
I was wondering about that. How many Shawnees were there?
Who knows? They were coming over that fence so fast, couldn't tell. 100 or more, at least.
The five of you managed to stay alive?
Well, I don't know that either, except there was so much smoke from the fires, it was half dark. After they killed the colonel, we went over to the barracks there and decided to fort up there. Indians were so busy looting, they didn't pay any attention to the barracks. We just laid low, and as luck would have it, they left before they burned us out. I never want to see anything like that again. Sure, I've been looking forward to this, ma'am.
Hope you enjoy it, Sergeant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks good, man.
There you go. Israel, I want to see you finish every bite on that plate.
Yes, ma'am.
You like your biscuit?
Mm-hmm. Dan?
Oh.
Something bothering you?
I'm not putting my finger on it.
Yet you're still bothered.
You ever notice how we're never alone? I don't mean just now, but there's always somebody nearby.
Well, if it bothers you, why don't you ask them?
For the time being, I just as soon they didn't know that I'd noticed.
I'll get some coffee.
Like another biscuit?
No, thanks. Why don't you give it to Sergeant Rafferty? He needs it more than the others. Why, with that arrow wound in him.
Arrow?
Sure. Mr. Crane told me all about it. He even pulled it out all by himself.
What are you doing out here?
Why don't you get some rest? I can stand guard if you want.
What are you doing out here?
Well, I just keep wondering if those Shawnees are going to come back.
Oh, you don't think they're apt to do that, do you? I mean, I heard they wouldn't fight at night.
Why are you standing guard?
Well, I'm just carrying out orders, sir. Oh, Mr. Boone, if I was you, I'd step back inside there.
I reckon the sergeant's just concerned about my wife and son.
Yes, sir, he is. He's concerned about him. I mean, that's why I'm posted here, make sure nothing happens to him during the night.
Your brother's a very thoughtful man. Night, Michael.
Night.
Come on, Crane, keep digging.
Digging.
I want to get the colonel buried.
I'm digging.
I don't want him found down there in the cellar.
All right.
Evans, get down here. Take your place.
Oh.
Now you know, Mr. Boone. Why did you have to be so curious?
Dan, what is it? What's wrong?
Well, you might as well tell her, Mr. Boone.
Tell me what?
Well, these so-called heroes were military prisoners awaiting trial from the Shawnee attack.
I don't understand.
They were kept in the cellar. When the colonel went down to ask him to help out with the fighting, they killed him.
Very good, Mr. Boone. Very good. Unfortunate accident, ma'am.
You mean they were just hiding down there?
Ma'am, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to ask you to stay on with us as our guests until we can decide what to do with you.
Yes, sir. You might get to where you could enjoy our company.
That's enough out of you, Willie.
I do beg your pardon, ma'am.
We're going to get back to Boonesboro soon. They just might come looking for us.
We have no desire to stay here very long, Mr. Boone. You poking around where you're not supposed to, you know we'll have to keep you here until we get away. I'm sure you understand that.
You've made that pretty plain.
We'll get you out of here as soon as we can, but in the meanwhile, you won't try to cut and run out, will you?
I'm not a fool, Sergeant. I wouldn't leave my wife and son here with you.
Well, I'm delighted to hear that. That'll make it a lot easier on all of us. Boy, since you're awake, why don't you, go on out and get some firewood for the fireplace, huh? Michael here will see that you don't get lost. You two fellas get back to your day.
Is that what you're waiting for? The bearing to be over with?
Ma'am, we are looking for an Army payroll that was delivered here 3 days ago. Colonel, unfortunately, buried it, or we would have been long gone before you got here.
What are you going to do with us?
As I say, we haven't had time to talk about it or think it over, but I just had a thought standing here. Maybe I can make a deal with you. How would you like to guide us up to Canada? Would that interest you?
My wife and son go free?
You know, you look like an honest man, and I trust you. But I don't trust you that much. You might get us out there and lose us in the bush. No, sir. Your family goes with us, or there's no deal. Why don't you think it over? You'll have to excuse me, because we have a lot of work to do now. Ma'am, I wish you a good evening, and if there's anything you need, Mr. Hanks here will be waiting outside.
Dan, what are we going to do?
Well, time's on our side until they find that payroll.
They're bound to find it sooner or later.
Then I'll make a deal with them to guide them to Canada. Unless I think of something in the meantime.
You asked me, it ain't hid back there.
What ain't hid back there?
Don't worry about it, big ears. You just get some more wood.
All right, soldier man.
I think I'm gonna take me a look in that direction.
All right. Come on. You're just getting lazier and lazier.
You can help.
What's the matter, boy?
I heard something in the pile. Might be a rattlesnake.
Oh, you thought you heard a rattlesnake? Oh, that's funny. I didn't hear any rattlesnake.
Being as late as it is, and chilly, they don't rattle too loud.
Wait, you sure you maybe didn't find something else, huh?
No, honest.
Big old rattlesnake, huh? Well,
Hey, you better watch it.
where'd you see that?
Don't put your hand in there. Look out.
Boy, you go get somebody to help me. I've been bit.
You stay here. Don't move a muscle. I'll get my paw.
Hey, boy, you were set to get some wood. Where is it?
Private Rabbit, you got bit by a snake. I gotta get my paw
Now,
out.
don't lie to me. You get on back and do as you was told.
Honest, now let me go.
Hanks! What is it, Israel?
Private Rabbit got bit by a snake paw. You gotta help him. Come on.
Help me. Please help me. I've been hurt.
Evans, get some coals. We'll burn the poison out.
I've been hurt.
Let me have a look.
Can you help me, Mr. Boone?
Just take it easy, Michael. You're going to be all right. Somebody get me a knife and fire it.
I got one.
Israel, get me a stick.
Well, I'm scared to come.
Well, you better hope it stays that way. Hurry up with that knife.
Coming.
Sergeant, hold this stick. And hold him steady till I get through testing. For him for now. He's going to have the chills when he wakes up. Better take him into the colonel's quarters, wrap some blankets around him. My wife will look after him.
You saved my brother's life. You didn't know him anything?
It didn't matter if it were anything. Man needed help, he was going to die.
Sure. Paul once fixed a broken leg of a Cherokee that was after his furs. Now they're best of friends.
You have my thanks. That's all.
Let's find that snake before he strikes somebody else.
Sure.
I guess I owe you my life.
My husband's the one you should be grateful to.
I'm grateful to both of you. You don't know how much. Only wish there was some way I could show it.
There just might be.
It's no use, Paul. I guess it's gone.
Israel,
Yes, Paul?
you were the one that went after the wood.
Uh-huh.
Well, why was it that Michael's the one that got bit?
Well, you see, he thought I found something. He wanted to see for himself. I told him there was a snake, but he just went right ahead. What do you suppose he thought I found?
That money pouch. He seemed bound and determined to find it.
Could it be in a big leather pouch?
This might be.
I know where it is.
You do?
Sure, I saw it.
Well, I'm listening.
I saw Private Evans put in his bedroll when I was gathering wood. The one over there on the far end. Is it important what I told you, Paul?
It just might be important enough to get us out of here. Israel, do you remember those Indian calls we've been practicing?
Sure. A timber wolf, yowl, and a black hawk.
Not now, son. You see those deep shadows over there? I want you to go over there, count 100, and then let loose. Then I want you to get that money bag and throw it down in the cellar. Then hide until it's safe. Understand? Israel? You're a good man.
Now he's seen everything. First he saves Michael's skin, now he's digging his own grave.
The sooner we find what you're looking for, the sooner we'll get out of here. What is it? Could be the Shawnee have come back.
Man of the stockade, you come through, Boone.
Young man, what are you up to?
Paul said something about divide and conquer.
I didn't see nothing.
I don't see nothing either.
That's because there's probably nothing to see. What would be your opinion, Mr. Boone?
What about those noises we heard?
Boone is in on this.
That makes sense, Sergeant. He was with us the whole time.
But the boy wasn't. And he knows Indian ways like his pa.
What do you hope to gain by that?
Let's find out. You get the boy up here. Get back to work. Evans, you get back to your digging.
He's gonna die. We should get it over with.
Means one less to share the money with, doesn't it?
Means more than that. We can't afford to stay here too long, and who knows when he's going to be in any shape to travel.
Crane, Sergeant wants to see the kid.
What does he want to see Israel for?
Ma'am, I didn't ask.
Israel, be...
It's all right, Ma. Pa's out there.
How's he doing?
No change that I can see.
I'll take over here. You go on out and help Evans with the digging.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Yeah.
Well, I'm here. What do you want me for?
Why'd you do it, boy?
Do what?
Make those noises so I'd think the Indians were out here?
No, I was over there with my mom.
Don't you lie to me, boy. Since you are an Indian expert, Mr. Boone, maybe you could stand up here for a little while.
Anything you say, Sergeant.
Yeah, well, you stay put. I'll be watching you.
What do we do now, Pa?
We just wait.
Crane,
What?
how long you been here?
Not very long. Why?
What'd you do with it?
Do with what?
What you took?
What it took? What do you mean what I did? I didn't take anything.
Well, that don't make sense to me, Crane. Cause my left ear is underneath my bedroll when I come back. It's gone.
Well, just suppose you tell me what you're looking for, and maybe I can help you find it.
Now you know what I'm looking for. Crane, now I'm gonna blow your head off, so you might as well tell me where it's hid.
Have you gone out of your mind? Put that gun down.
I see what you want, Crane. Now you tell me where it's hid. Maybe we can share it.
Oh, the payroll, huh? So you've had it all the time.
You ought to know, Crane. You stole it from me.
Well, I didn't steal it. I didn't even see it.
Well, if you didn't steal it, who did?
That's a good question, Private Evans. That is a very good question.
How long you been standing around?
Long enough?
Now you're gonna have to give me a chance to explain myself.
Put that gun down, then you can talk.
Yes, sir. Well, you see, sir, I hadn't had the money very long when Boone started yelling Indian. So I figured I'd better put it in a safe spot. But I meant to give it back to you.
Are you expecting me to believe that?
Well, yes, sir, I am, because that's the way it happened.
You believe him, Private Crane?
What do you think? What are we going to do with him?
I think we ought to line him up against a wall and shoot him. That's too easy on him. What do you think we ought to do with you, Evans?
Well, I don't think you should do anything to me, sir. I never meant to steal the money.
Evans, you are a liar and a thief.
Let's shoot him.
I'd like to, but we're going to need him later.
Well, then we'll shoot him later. That'll be one less hand dipping in the pot anyway. But we still don't know where that payroll is, Sergeant.
We'll find it.
Well, I didn't take it. So that only leaves Hanks and your brother.
They didn't take it either.
Well, who did?
That's a good question to ask Mr. Boone. Boone? Come down for a moment. I'd like to have a word with you. That was a good plan.
What plan?
Those Indian calls to attract our attention.
Sounded like Shawnee to me.
They weren't Shawnee. You know it, and I know it. Come on over to the campfire. We'll talk about it.
There you go, Michael.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, go on.
Well, we took an oath. I mean, man doesn't like to go back on his word.
Oh, your brother's a smart man, hiding behind you when he knows you all might be pardoned if you turned him in.
No, I never said he did the killing.
You don't have to. It's quite obvious from the way he acts.
No, he didn't do it. He didn't. It was Hank's. Well, Tim got himself shot trying to stop it.
What were you under arrest for?
Desertion. Other things.
What other things?
Well, my brother got himself thrown in the guardhouse for hitting an officer. He didn't mean to do it. He was drunk. I would have meant the finish of him, so I opened the guardhouse door and...
I see, and the others got out.
Next thing I knew, we were going over the wall.
You went with them?
Well, there wasn't much else to do. I mean, I'd sure known it was me let him out.
Have you ever given any thought to what's going to happen to you when you get out of here?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be a fugitive from justice.
A man on the run for something you didn't do. That's not a very pleasant prospect.
Well, we were all there, ma'am. I mean, I figure that makes us all accomplices. We're bound together.
And you'll all hang together.
No. Nobody's gonna hang because nobody will tell.
How can you be so sure of that? How well do you know these men? How do you know you can trust them?
Well, I don't really know any of them very well. Except my brother. What's on your mind, ma'am?
I'd guess the court would grant immunity to anyone who would testify against the guilty one. And there might be a reward for the return of the money.
No. No, it's too late for that. It's too late for me even to help you. Even if I wasn't in any shape to do it.
Michael, you can talk to them. Maybe one of them.
I could talk to my brother. He's the only one who...
You ain't gonna tell anything to anybody. Figured to play on his sympathy and his gratitude, didn't you? Now, if you need help, why not try me? I could be a whole lot more friendly. Yes, sir, I could be real friendly. And if I just had something to be grateful for...
You leave her alone.
We know that you hid the money. It's nearby. We'll find it. With or without your help. You're gonna leave here at daybreak. And I will give you until then to make up your mind.
Sergeant,
Boone, stop! Pull the kid. I'll teach you not to yell. That's enough, Boone. Willie, you put that gun down. Leave him alone.
I'll kill him for that.
You're not going to kill anybody.
You give me one good reason why I don't.
There's There's been enough killing around here. Besides, we need him to guide us up to Canada.
I'll kill him when we get there.
Pa!
Stay here, boy.
Becky, are you all right? Did they hurt you?
No, they didn't hurt me, Dad.
Come on, Boone.
No, it can wait.
Boone?
Would you leave him alone? Can't you see he's hurt?
He's all right, ma'am. I didn't hit him hard. Mr. Boone, we decided to wait until morning for your decision, but since we're all here now, let's settle it. Where did you hide the money?
I told you what the deal was. My wife and son go free. I'll show you where the money is and guide you to Canada.
And I told you you have nothing to bargain with, not if you care about your family.
Sergeant, I don't believe you'd hurt either one of them.
I wouldn't. But I'm not sure of Willie Hanks here.
It'll be a pleasure, Mr. Boone.
Money's in the cellar.
Crane, check the cellar. Leave the boy.
Pa!
Sergeant, I'd like to ask one question.
Go ahead.
What guarantee do I have that my family won't be harmed once we get to Canada?
Speaking for myself, you have my word.
What about Hanks and the others?
You'll have to talk to them about that.
Looks like we'll be going to Canada.
Hold it right there, Mr. Boone. I need you. But I don't need you that much that I won't kill you.
You won't do that either. You've already fired that once, remember?
Boone?
Becky, stay back.
What happened?
And Private Crane. Put your rifle and the money right down there. Easy.
Jim? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but I didn't mean to go against you. They'd have shot Boone.
I'll be so glad to get home.
Makes two of us.
Just think we've only been gone a week.
Some weeks longer than others. This is one of the longest I can remember. How you doing, soldier?
Just fine, Mr. Boone. Thanks to you.
Well, I'm the one that owes the thanks. Hanks had me dead centered.
Mr. Boone, you think the courts will go easy on my brother?
They will if I have anything to say about it.
And he will.
I was just thinking, you're the only man I know who can say the luckiest day of his life was the day he was bitten by a rattlesnake.
All right, Israel. Let him go.